What's up guys, K0 here with a quick overview of the PDP Mortal Kombat X Fightpad for the Xbox One and the Xbox 360. Now I've had this for a few days now. I originally was going to do a review within the first 24 hours, but had some things going on, so it was delayed a little bit. Sorry about that, guys. Now, out of the box, the first thing is that this thing is super light. It is incredibly light. It feels very cheaply made because it doesn't feel like there's anything inside this at all. It doesn't feel like there's any circuit boards or anything. It literally just feels like it's a shell and everything's just painted on. It's just extremely light, which is good. I don't really like a lot of heavy things, but some people prefer a little bit of weight to their controllers, so I guess that's just a preference thing. Secondly, the cord is insanely long. It's 8 to 10 feet long. It'll probably fit any setup that you can throw at it. It's very long. My son was actually getting in some time with this, and he sat all the way back there in the back of that couch, and he still had plenty of room. And it's just crazy how long this is, which is great. A lot of controllers tend to have short cables and things, and that's always a downer. But this, you don't have any problems with length with this cord here. Speaking of the cord, one of the good things about it is that it has a breakaway cable. In case you pull on it too much, you're not bringing the Xbox One down with it. It'll just break away, and it's very, very safe. It doesn't have any pins or anything. It's basically just a little plastic piece and like a little silver ring, and that's it. It plugs right in, so you don't have to worry about damaging any pins or anything of that nature. Now, with the pad itself, how is it? How does it stand up with the Xbox One controller? Now, starting off with the D-pad is just, there's a major difference. A lot of people have said, oh, it looks exactly the same. It completely isn't. The Xbox One D-pad is a bit clicky. There's no give to it. And it's hard to pull off motions because it feels like it's a button. But it's a button that you can't use properly in conjunction with your thumb. That's how it feels for me. I didn't really like it. This one is a lot softer. It's concave. You can see like the edges of the D-pad itself are bigger, so you don't have to worry about messing it or having your finger slip. It fits really well. It's very soft, and I like it. I like it much better than the Xbox One controller D-pad. Now, the buttons I do like, but I also don't like at the same time. It's a 50-50 for me. The buttons, you just touch them and it just clicks. There's no give. It's like the Xbox One D-pad, basically, how you just touch it and there's no reaction. It barely gives. And that's how these buttons are. They're a little loose, if you can see when you look at it like that, but when you actually press it, it just clicks. There's no cushion or anything like that. And I like it. I like the way that all of the buttons that you need are on the face right there. The only downside to the buttons for me personally is doing a shadow. Pulling off a shadow move is a bit tough because you're using your thumb to hit two buttons at the same time. In order for me to confirm, to guarantee that the shadow is going to come out, I have to shift my hand all the way like that to make sure that I hit the two buttons. You can always just hit the three buttons that you can set, to the top bumpers here, but I prefer to hit the two buttons for the shadow, three buttons for the ultra. Moving on to the bumpers. The bumpers are really, really nice. They're just like the buttons. You just push them and they click, and that's at any point. And a lot of people had that problem with the bumpers on the Xbox One, was that if you had your finger in a certain place, you couldn't really click it. I never had that issue, but with these you don't even have to worry, and they're very, very light. That's what I like. And of course you have the menu and the list buttons here. I think that's what those are called. But I've already worn out the symbol on that button right there. There was a line, like the 3 lines, and after the one day there was only one line left, and now there's nothing. So I've already worn that out. Other than that, there isn't much to say about it. Compared to the Xbox One controller, I believe it's a good alternative. It's a good, cheap alternative. $49.99 on Amazon. I'm pretty sure you can get your local store with a trade-in for even cheaper. For those looking for a different controller, a better controller, or just a general alternative to the Xbox One controller, I think it's worth it. But if you already have a fight stick, or you have multiple ways of using inputs for fighting games on your Xbox One, I wouldn't really bother with this. This isn't really going to do anything for you unless you're a fan of Mortal Kombat. If you prefer the Fightpad layout with Mortal Kombat, I'd say go ahead and pick it up. But other than that, with Killer Instinct itself, it's a good alternative for an Xbox One controller, not for any other inputs. If you have modded sticks or other modded inputs, I wouldn't even bother. If you're happy with your current controller and you have a converter or an adapter of some sort, go ahead and keep on using it. This isn't really going to do anything for you. But like I said, it feels cheap. Oh, and that's another thing. My mind would have completely changed. The first night that I had this, I would have said, you know what, go ahead and pick this up regardless. I haven't had any issues with it or anything like that. But after a couple of days, I noticed I'm starting to have a couple of issues already. The buttons tend to sound very springy when you hit them and you let go. It sounds very cheap. Also, when I hit a button and I'm trying to type something in, it hits that letter or whatever I'm trying to hit multiple times. 4 to 5 different times, and there was a couple of instances when I went to hit the crouching light kick, and it did all 6 of the buttons at the same time. I wish I had recorded. I should have recorded. I wasn't even thinking about it. I was just like, whoa, and I was just kind of dumbfounded by that fact. But just be very wary. This doesn't seem like it's going to last very long. I do like it. Like I said, good alternative. But other than that, I'd probably stay away from this. But if you're just curious, I mean, it's only $49.99. Just give it a shot. So yeah, that's about it. If you have any other questions, comments, or concerns, just leave them below. And I'll see you next time. See you guys.